Very disappointed today, man. Very disappointed today. I have to say, we got outplayed in the second half. I thought in the first half, we weren't at our best. I don't think we clicked. But neither did really PSG. I mean, Mbappe had a chance that maybe he would score on a different day. But other than that, neither keeper was really called into action. And the disappointing thing for me is that I think with the occasion, with how we've been playing, they didn't give a good account of themselves in terms of showing that confidence today. It's a kick in the teeth, and I think for a lot of Manchester United fans, me included, I would take the L. I would take the L. You know, I was predicting 2-0, Ranch was predicting 3-1, and we got a bit ahead of ourselves. And sometimes football, you know, gives you a little bit of a slap in the face. And in reality, if you're looking at it, and I'm still need time to digest it, so it's still instantly after the game, but I'm getting more of the feeling that, you know what, one, we had an off day, and you can't afford to have an off day against top opposition in Europe, even if they are without two of their best players. And two, they showed that, look, they've come here without two of their best players, and they still look very comfortable. You know, we didn't lay siege to them. They defended well. My biggest bugbear is the fact that we got to 0-0, we got to half-time at 0-0, you know, and there wasn't much in the first half. And you're looking at it thinking, okay, can we raise our game? Can we try and kick on and make things click? But yes, the injuries to Jesse and Martial definitely made an impact with us. Definitely, we've been saying in this run that if we get injuries to key players, we're going to struggle. Even when those two were on in the first half, it still wasn't clicking. So I think the fact that they went off as well, on top of that, it looked like we just didn't really have an idea. Sanchez offered nothing, neither did Mata. I'm not trying to use that as an excuse, because look, they've come here without their two best players equally, and that's from the start, you know, and Mounier not playing as well. So they've had to rejig things around, but I think the quality and the depth in the squad showed. When we brought on our auxiliary guys, it didn't work. It didn't work, especially when, like I said, when our first 11 didn't bang. So look, I can't blame the team sheet, because it was the team that we all wanted to see. We can't argue. I do see what a lot of fans are saying in terms of they're just a better side. They're just a better side. But where I have a few reservations about that is the fact that we were also confident coming into this game, because I do believe that if the players that we started the game with, which is our best team in my opinion, if they played to their capabilities and it clicked and we moved the ball quicker and we played in a different style, I think we could have caused them problems, and I was very disappointed that we didn't. It was very frustrating that first half. We got into good areas. You know, Jesse was excuse me, just got to get rid of this cough. Jesse got into good areas, and there was a time when we had perfect counter-attack. Martial was, I'm not going to say clean through, but he was in a very good area. The ball just wasn't there. We got into good crossing areas that we couldn't find anyone. Martial just didn't quite look at the races, didn't have his best game, and then the injury crept up on him, and then he was never going to survive from that. So that's what annoys me more, the fact that I don't think we saw the best of us today. But like I said, it was an off day, and you can't afford to have an off day against opposition like that. Look, the second leg is going to be ultimately tough. I don't think we can win. I've heard fans today saying that, you know, we're going to keep fighting, and look, it's good to have that level of optimism. You can't, you know, go out there and just throw the towel in. You know, I think we'll go and try. I don't think we'll go and roll over, but I think it's a massive ask. We have to go there and win 3-0. You know, there is a side to it. They're saying if we get an early away goal, it puts the pressure on, which is true. But I don't know, man. I saw a lot in PSG's play today where they were very comfortable, and that's away from home without the two best players. Those two players, you know, potentially, well, Neymar definitely won't be there, but Cavani might. You add him into that mix, and they go up a gear again. So I think it's very difficult. Obviously, without Paul Pogba there as well, that's a big miss for the second leg. I can't see it, but I think it's very important to focus on this, where we've started from, when Ollie's come here, to where we are now. There's been a lot of positives. We was always going to lose the game. We maybe didn't envisage it to be today because we're so confident. We didn't envisage it to be today, but we've got the loss. So we've got to remember what Ollie's done since he's come. And look, we played against top opposition today, and we didn't have their best players, and we've been outclassed. In the end, we got outclassed, especially second half. Not so much in the first half. I thought it was an even game. There wasn't really much in it. Both teams, you know, we're even, if you ask me. But second half, I think with the changes, it just proved that the two depths in squads, there's no comparison, and we can't cope without our best 11. We can't. we've proved that, especially against top opposition, whereas they can, and they proved it. But you know, I don't want to panic. You know, I do think that we're never going to win the Champions League, and that's not me just trying to flip flop because I thought we'd win the game before. Even if we would have beat these today, we weren't expecting. I don't care what any Manchester United fan says. We weren't expecting to win the Champions League. We've still got to focus on obviously the top four, which is our main objective. For me, the biggest thing we need to look at here is how bad are the injuries to Jesse and Martial, because we saw what happened when Mata come on the pitch. We saw what happened when Sanchez come on the pitch, Lukaku as well. If we're going to have to start relying on these guys, you know, what type of Manchester United will we be? Will we be able to get through these tough games? We've got Liverpool coming up, we've got Chelsea coming up, we've got the return leg to that, we've got City, we've got big games, Arsenal in March. If Jesse and Martial, I haven't seen any of the post-match reactions and updates, but if they're out for a long period of time, top four could be in jeopardy, because we've seen what it's like without our so-called best 11 there, which is what Oli played today. We know what we want our front three to be, which is what started today. Yes, they didn't have their best game as a front three tonight, but in the Premier League, we've shown, you know, against top opposition that, you know, we can play, and that is our best front three. If we don't have that, I do worry. So for me, yes, it's a kick in the teeth here to lose, 100%. I was confident, I was pumped. The atmosphere was fantastic. I can't fault the fans. We gave the atmosphere. We had that under the lights, and the team didn't really show up, which is upsetting. But we got to focus on ourselves in the bigger scheme of things. I worry that if we don't get a result against Chelsea, it could snowball. You never know, and we want to do that. So listen, guys, drop your views in the comments in the boxes below. It's been disappointing today, but look, all is not lost. All is not lost. If we go out of the Champions League, which probably will happen in Paris, you know, we kick on. Thanks for watching.